Hello, everybody. My name is Morgan Pretty,
I'm Trent Schlag.
and we are your casters for Overwatch 2 today.
Now, today's exciting.
Yeah, it's
I
a
don't know
big,
if you
big
know,
day.
but we're live, we're streaming, and it's an update day.
Yes, so Blizzard always updates its games on Tuesday, and today we are looking at the motherload of all updates for Overwatch 2. Some say this is a rework of the entire game. Some are saying it's not. So we
I
do
say this
have
is
the patch.
actually Overwatch 2.
We
I
will
say
be-
this is more
This
Overwatch
is
2 than
for
the game
sure
itself.
Overwatch 2. Yeah. We have our patch notes, and we will be going over some of the basics, so our viewers at home can understand what's changed.
So much.
Yeah.
So much has changed. We have changes to range, just casual. We have changes to every single hero in the game. We have changes on how to unlock things, even. So much in this single update. I love it. I don't know if you love it. I think most people love it.
Hate some of it. We'll have to see how it plays out.
That's always how it goes.
Now, the important thing for our viewers at home to kind of take into consideration today is that although our team has been practicing hard today, this will be our team's first time competing with these new updates, as well as with our component Nichols College tonight. Hello, Nichols. If we have any fans, thanks for coming, and we're really excited to compete against you today with this brand new patch.
Yeah. Now, with this patch, what are some of the things that you're expecting to see come out of it? Because one of the biggest things that have come out is just a global health increase. Every single hero has had their health increased by 15 to 25%. Now, I don't know about you, but that is a massive increase just globally.
Yeah, and looking at my notes here, generally, I think the changes that we are seeing with the increase in health, like you mentioned, we're also looking at a mostly across the board increase in the size of projectiles.
Yeah.
Overall, I think this is going to be meaning that a lot of our games are going to last longer. Like, the fights are going to last longer, going to feel less brawly. There's going to be less opportunities for one shot, one tapped headshots in the game.
Looking at you, Hanzo players.
Hanzo players better watch out. All those sorts of things. So things are going to feel a bit more. The fights aren't going to end as quickly. That's what I'm feeling.
They're going to be more edge of your seat fights.
Yes, that's what I'm looking at. And taking a look at my notes, it looks like generally, like you mentioned, we had those health increases. For most people, that's looking between like about a 50 health increase. For tanks, that's between 75 and 100 hit points.
That's so much.
And
Tanks are just going to absorb so much from that now.
And then for some of the squishier heroes, we're looking at 25 hit point increase. For ultimate ability costs too, there was a increase for that. So each character, each player has to build up their ultimate ability by healing each other, damaging each other, all that stuff just by playing
Elimination,
the game.
saves, all of that fun stuff.
That looks like it was also increased by 10%. Do you want to talk about what that might mean for our players?
I mean, that can mean a lot of different things. That can mean with the global health pool being increased, a lot more damage can be put out, so those can be generated probably relatively similar to how they were last season and previous seasons. But with that being increased by 10% now, so really it's more like 110% ult charge that you're needing, it can take longer to generate some of those game-changing ults, such as Lifeweaver Tree, Sim Wall, May Blizzard, Reaper Blossom, Earth Shatter even, Annihilation.
And I think that will definitely play into matches feeling like they're lasting, like the fight's lasting a bit longer, because we're not going to see as many of these kind of game-changing events going on, for sure.
Yeah.
The other thing I think we were talking about was the new passive. Do you want to talk about the new passive that's going on?
Yeah, now, this is an exciting update. I don't know how you feel about this, but as a DPS player, I love this. I feel like Genji players are still going to yell at their supports. That's just something that's never going to change. I feel like that's Genji players' passive ability. But every hero, doesn't matter if you're support, tank, DPS, if you are not taking damage for 5 seconds, you now regenerate 20 health a second.
Yeah.
Now, I'm thinking those Sombra players, those Tracer players, those Pharahs, those Echoes, just gain that poke damage, getting into trouble, teleporting back, dashing away, recon, whatever. Staying out of danger for 5 seconds, and you're back and able to get into that fight so much faster. You aren't needing to get that pocket Mercy, that pocket Ana. It doesn't matter. you don't need those supports as much. Keyword is as much. You're still going to need those supports, obviously. That's never going to go away. It's 5v5 with 2 dedicated supports for a reason.
Yeah. No, I think I agree with what you're thinking about that regeneration. And this isn't a necessarily new ability either. This is a passive that healers previously had, but only healers. Now everybody in the game has it. So I think for dive characters specifically, heroes that have a lot of high mobility, this is going to be a pretty big and significant buff when it comes to those brawls. Because like you said, all they have to do is get out of that fight for 5 seconds, and then they'll start regenerating health.
Absolutely.
Another one that we talked about, which caught me a little bit off guard, I guess, but I did notice, was the quick melee increase, damage increase. So that went from 30 to 40, which doesn't seem like a big increase, but that could make or break, killing somebody.
Yeah, I mean, now, before, if you were at 31 health, you'd survive by 1. Sure, you'd most definitely die shortly after. If you're within range of a melee, you are absolutely dead there. Yeah. There's no saving you, no matter what. Unless you get Life Weaver gripped, unless you get Zarya bubbled, unless you get Maywalled off from the enemy, you're dead there, no matter what. Yeah. But now, you need to be up to 41 health to survive that. And for a lot of heroes that are at that 200 health margin, that is a significant part of your health bar now.
Yeah. You look at our squishier DPS, you're looking at Genji, Tracer, anybody who you could, a strong wind comes by and does a bit of damage, that could make or break it. So we'll have to see how our team might take advantage of this in the fight today.
Yeah, most definitely.
Now, we also have a character rework in this patch, and we previously have had a couple of them where the Blizzard team has sat down, looked at a particular hero who maybe was not feeling balanced in the game, not feeling super significant, XYZ, and redid their whole kit. So previously, this was Roadhog a couple patches ago. Do you want to go over our newest rework for Pharah?
Yeah, Pharah had an absolutely massive rework this patch. Not only does she get a health increase from 200 health up to 250 now, she just has so much more versatility now. Her rocket launcher, her recovery was reduced from 0.85 to 0.8 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that can mean a lot in a single conflict, in a single battle, especially on a push map. Projectile speed was increased from 35 to 40 meters per second. Again, doesn't sound like a lot on paper, but you get in those fights, you get in those brawls, and that is absolutely game-changing. Explosion self-damage was reduced from 50 to 25%. She can now not kill herself as easily. Still possible, just not as easily. Jet Dash is a new secondary fire ability. It provides a quick horizontal boost in the direction that she is moving. It has an 8-second cooldown, which is relatively long in the terms of these games. And it added a setting just to activate Jet Dash on double jump instead. Jump Jet now restores 50% of hover jet fuels. And it can briefly overfill the maximum fuel amount, which there's been a change to jump jets, which I'm going to get to in a second. It's kind of big. It's going to probably put not a hard stop to the Pharmercy meta, but it's definitely going to be a soft stop. With jump jet, vertical boost height was reduced to 20%, unfortunately. I don't remember off the top of my head what the boost was before this rework. Yeah. But whatever it was, it's now 20%. And the cooldown for it was increased from 10 seconds to 14 seconds. Again, doesn't sound like a lot on paper, but that is absolutely game-changing in the sense of Overwatch 2.
Yeah. A lot of these changes that we're seeing for Pharah traditionally has been, a very airborne character. We would say a bad Pharah would be one that's on the ground. But with these changes, I've been hearing from the community that it seems like the goal is to make her more like Echo, where Echo is more of a horizontal aerial character. Pharah was always more
like
vertical,
a glide character.
So instead of Pharah maybe getting to those higher
absolutely
altitudes,
to the ceiling hitbox,
it's more of a horizontal movement change. And I think with this, something that we haven't discussed yet is the changes to pharmacy that we might see. And pharmacy itself is kind of a strategy in Overwatch 2 and back in the original Overwatch, which a Mercy and a Pharah work together called pharmacy, just to wreak havoc on the entire team.
It was absolutely devastating. If you didn't have a hit scan, if you didn't have anybody long range, anybody that could hit their shots, that was game over for you essentially.
And they were always the most annoying to take care of because of that altitude and that high mobility. So with this, I think we're going to see Mercy on the ground more. And this might be this. Do you think this is the end of Pharmacy?
Oh,
Overwatch?
most definitely not. Most definitely not. There's always people that are going to overcome the changes, find little loopholes on how to make things work, and always find those nice little exploits to just overwhelm and overpower the enemies. There's never anything that is going to be a hard stop to a meta.
Yeah.
Except maybe the Bastion rework.
Which maybe that'll be next patch. Another hero that we mentioned who is getting a little bit of a different change. Maybe isn't a complete rework at all, but had some interesting changes was Lucio, one of the support heroes. So we noted that he had a damage increase from 25 to 35 hit points, and then also his knockback was increased by 12%.
Which that is absolutely dramatic. Even on paper, that is massive.
Yeah. And for our audience at home, that might not seem that big, but Lucio, his sonic sound wave, can push heroes back, and that can be, really monumental in redirecting ultimate abilities, also knocking people off of the map and insta-killing them. So with that 12% knockback, people have to be watching out depending on which map we're playing, how close they are.
Looking at you,
to the
Ilios,
edge.
well.
Yeah, thinking about that Ilios map.
Ugh.
We also talked about another change to one of our supports, Moira. Health increase from 200 to 250, but also a damage increase from 50 to 65. Tell me what you're thinking about that.
Hate this. I absolutely hate this change. Now, with this Battle Pass, with the Season 9 Battle Pass, the final reward is a skin. It's an okay skin, I'll say.
I think it's
one
cool.
of the better ones that they've released lately. It is a skin for Moira, so it makes sense that they are going to buff her a bit. However, for those that don't know, Moira is supposed to be a support player, supposed to be healing the team, the DPS, the tanks, the other support. With this, they're really leaning into that damage Moira meta, increasing how far away she can attack her enemies, how much damage per second she is able to do to them. I'm not a fan of this whatsoever. I feel like a health or a healing boost would have been better here in place of that damage.
Yeah. No. As a Moira player, I'm excited for this just because it'll give me more of an opportunity to play Moira personally. But I'm curious to see if we will see a Moira in our games. I don't think we saw any last week, so we'll have to see.
I don't think so either.
I'm also curious if we'll see Pharah tonight. I do hope we do, and if we get any opportunities to show off that newer gameplay for the audience, I would love to.
Oh yeah, most definitely, I agree.
Some of the last updates that we had to go over were a couple of map changes. So I believe Junkertown was the one that received the most changes.
Oh, most definitely.
Which there's photos online available if anyone wants to see with before and after of what Junkertown looks like. But Junkertown is a push map, so there's a payload which has to be delivered. One team defends, one team attacks. And it seems like they've increased the amount of coverage in the map. In my opinion, just looking at it, doubled the amount of coverage.
Oh,
overall.
at least.
So, we're doing a little send-off here, so they are going to get ready to play, so if you hear them. But before and after, looking at these photos, coverage has highly increased, which I hope we play this map tonight, because I'd love to see it in the full swing of things.
Oh, I agree.
Junkertown's always been a fun map. Yeah.
I mean, as a Junkrat player, lore-wise, yes. I think it's a fun map regardless, and one of my favorite features is that it is now a night map as well.
Yeah.
Don't get enough of those.
Yeah, and overall, the other changes that happened in this patch are kind of gone over with what we discussed. Projectile changes, so projectiles are bigger, which means it's easier to hit people. So with the increased health, we'll have to see how that goes into game. But are there any more of the patch notes that you wanted to go over, Trent?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, perfect. It looks like we are going to get started here in just a minute. We're going to go to the Be Right Back screen, but if you have any questions, throw them in chat, and we can see if we can get to them.
All right, and we're back. So we did, in fact, win the coin toss. We are going to Lijiang Tower as our first map. It is a control map, which means basically 3 control points over the span of 3 different rounds in the single match. Whoever captures 2 wins overall, whether it's the first 2 points or if it goes back and forth. I mean, I'm excited for this. I love Lijiang as a map, one of my favorite maps, especially in terms of control.
Yeah, Lijiang is a classic. That's a map from Overwatch 1. It's been in the game for a long time. It has gone through very little changes, and it's
yeah, very few.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see
our
team play on it. I think we've practiced on it a lot. So
most definitely.
You know, we'll see. There's a lot of opportunities for, you know, I think Farah is actually a pretty popular pick on this map.
For control center, definitely for control center.
And then there's also an opportunity for Lucio to boop some people off, so maybe we'll see these updates in play in this game.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, we are starting our game in Lijiang Tower. Let's see if we can do a little overview of the map.
Try to, at least. Cable management is not really optimized over here.
There we go. So we fought in this map last week, I believe. And this is essentially what the map looks like.
I mean, I'm a fan of this point. This is a very fun point. It's got a lot of cover. It's got a lot of height that can be taken, especially by those fires, especially by those echoes.
Looking here, it looks like so far we have Midas on tank, Hoodnut on DPS, also Tut on DPS, and then our healers are Swept and Shadowstorm. And there's that Lucio we were just talking about.
There's that Lucio.
Yeah. So we're going to focus on switching out the cameras and getting our viewers the best perspective throughout this map. So.
Yeah. Now, one thing I am interested to see here, we do have Midas on the Ramatra. And Ramatra having that ability to block, put up that shield, put up that void, with the passive healing is going to be, I think, some pretty crazy placement. Man. We do see Tut going down from the Symmetra, who did teleport her team onto point. Alari takes out Swept, unfortunately.
Still got a healer up, so
Midas goes down, and it's just Tut and Hoodnut left up.
And they are pushing to our spawn, so Team's gonna have to hold back a little bit. Oh, and there's Knight poking on the right.
We do see shots coming out from Swept. The Orisa does miss a jab, which is good news for us. Absolutely massive damage can come out from that.
Switch to our tank's perspective, Midas.
Staying lots of damage. It does get stunned. Unfortunately, it goes down. Shadow takes out a healing pylon. Hoodnut races back, stays alive. Bastion is in sentry form on the left of our spawn. Hoodnut takes out that teleporter. That's a teleporter, which is really good, and that's what we need here.
Now we're going to regroup here and see how we can tackle this team and get the objective. The other team is pushing us
Nice
back.
shots coming in from Tut.
They want to try and have us spend this amount of time on the objective. We break through. There's a Sim portal, and we have a ultimate going in.
Do see the Terror Surge and the tree coming out. Shadow Midas and Tut go down. Swept and Hoodnut follow, and that's a team kill onto Keene State, unfortunately. We do see the Azaria switch coming out.
Now, it's okay. We got a lot of time in so
We got nothing but
take this
time.
opportunity to build up our ultimates some more and, you know, use those ults to take back the point. We are trying to go around them here, around the point.
Interesting play.
Hoodnut is down by Basher on the other team, and we're backing up. Going around to the other way, now we're going to do a little flip-flop approach.
We do see the Orisa going in where they just were. We see Hoodnut switching from the Reaper to the Mei.
We were able to dodge all of that ultimate from... And we have
The Visor comes out, which can do a lot. Does get stuck, unfortunately, by the Alarial. The boost and Nano coming out now. That's both of the support ults. Unfortunately, Shadow goes down.
And this is it.
Swept gets a double onto the
left.
tank, and the DPS is just Life Weaver left.
And we miss, but
And he
that's
just
okay.
stays alive.
He's gonna
But
have
we
to make it
capture
back to
them at 99, and that's a huge stagger onto Life Weaver there.
Good job.
That is
Monarch
what we
is out.
absolutely love to see.
Now, that's really important that once your team is all down, you get out of there as soon as possible. And unfortunately, Monarch wasn't able to get out, so that's going to, like you said, Trent, cause a big stagger for our opponent and give us more opportunities to capitalize.
Yep.
We're working at about almost 20%
We do
versus
see
99.
Knight getting brought down to half health. May with the right click coming out. Hoodnut does go down though.
Headshot from the other
Orisa is incredibly weak, but so is Swept, and we see that passive coming into play here. That healing passive, absolutely crucial, keeping Swept alive to keep its team alive. We do see Tree of Life coming out as well. We hear the Terror Surge.
Lucio in the back here, trying to get that.
Does get that boot, and unfortunately goes down.
So
And is just Swept alive in their back line.
Let's
And we
see
see
if-
Tut trying to come in, trying to keep him alive.
unfortunately,
And
Tet was not made.
unfortunately doesn't make it in time.
But did get a headshot at the end. So.
That's all that matters.
That's
At the
all
end of
that
the day,
matters.
your accuracy.
So, but it's okay. So this, on control maps, it is best of 3. So we are going to play another time. If we're able to cap this point, we will go to a 3rd round. So let's see how our team changes things up in order to counter Nichols College here.
I'm here to support
We're
you.
seeing
But
Hoodnut
you have
going
to put in
to
the work.
Junkrat.
My personal favorite,
your personal
unbiased
favorite, we
opinion.
know. Now Junkrat could be a good switch here. Other than that, it looks like that'll be the only one. But we know Hoodnut is quite experienced with the Junkrat, so
We know
see
Hoodnut
how
is
he
quite
does
experienced
here.
with so many heroes.
So many heroes.
Genji, Mei, Reaper, Rat. We see that they do have their own Rat. We see the spam coming out.
Ooh, and already
Does
a pick.
take down their Rat.
Trash pick. Get that healing up.
We see that heal field going out, absolutely crucial. Mei does popsicle herself. We see the Queen shout, keeping herself and her teammates alive, as well as giving a slight speed boost.
Switching over to Lucio's perspective here, one of our healers, Shadow Storm. Trying to keep Azaria
Trying to keep
up.
his team alive, and
Now
going
he's
for the
pushing.
Alari.
Oh, and he just
And
could not get
unfortunately
that
goes
Alari.
down, and Alari does get life grip to
Swept
keep her
was just
alive.
taken down as well.
Tut gets taken down, and it's just Hoodnut in the back.
Junkrat backing up, which smart move from Hoodnut here. Don't want to feed into the other enemy team anymore or stagger himself.
Now Junkrat, along with Sojourn, I believe they are the only two to get projectiles decrease in size, while everybody else got pretty much all their projectiles increased. We do see them going in. The wall goes up. It's not quite successful for the enemies. We do see that Midas does take care of their trap. Queen gets brought to half. Shadow goes down. Hoodnut takes out the Queen. Looking at the entire enemy team now. Saying now as much spam as possible as 97 on the tire could be crucial here. We see the tire coming out. It takes out the Alari and the pylon.
Very good pick there.
Then takes out Midas.
This might be us capping the point now. Good job. Good job, Keene State, taking that back from Nichols.
And we do see that we are almost at 4 ults. We almost have that visor. We almost see that grab, that nano, that beat.
We do see Nichols here with also almost all ults. They have 3 active now, and in the next fight, they're going to also get a Junker Queen and a Male. Now,
and that can be scary.
In Overwatch, ultimates can.
We hear that tire coming out.
Tire. Our team's looking for it so they can tap it down before it does any damage.
And Tut does take it out, but does go down to the Queen. We see that Blizzard coming out. Beat as well. Tree going down as well. Junkrat looking at that melee. We see that melee coming out with that 40 damage, absolutely taking care of things there. We see the nade. Hoodnut taking out Monarch.
Sweat's trying to keep the take alive. Ooh,
absolutely beautiful.
Good job, Keene State. We just have that tank on point. Ooh,
the sleep does. I thought that sleep would have hit.
I thought it would have too, to be honest.
Maybe that Zarya beam just kept her awake enough.
Yeah, maybe. Didn't even see a little fall damage, or her falling. Damn. Okay, we're gonna switch perspective.
We
now
do see that Reinhardt and Sojourn coming out now.
Now in ultimates, we do have 2 on our end with.
We see Hoodnut taking out. He's definitely looking for a tire here. I know I would. We see that grab coming out, keeping them away from the point. Hoodnut needs to stay alive here so that he can just rain down damage.
Oh, and Hoodnut is low, and
unfortunately gets taken down by a Sojourn in the back line. Swept follows. We do see Shadow is alive, keeping the rest of his team up as well. They do have a Tracer
we are able to hold. Good job, Keene State College.
And we hear that tire coming out.
Very nice.
A little too late, but I mean, just in case they managed to touch there, I don't blame them.
It's good. That was a good play there.
That was a very good hold. Very close there a few times, but all around great work.
Another day, another mission.
Very nice. So now we are going into a 3rd round of control, and we have some changes coming in. Ooh, so Tut has switched to Symmetra, and we also have Midas switching to Reinhardt. Very interesting. We'll have to see how this goes about on this point. So last week we had some very interesting moves on this point, which I'm wondering if maybe we'll see some more. Oh, we're paused. Okay. We thought there was an error.
We thought there was an error on our end.
We didn't. So our team is just pausing for a moment.
They did, unfortunately, have a DC on their end.
Oh, dang. Unfortunate. So we will just take a second to reconnect. Unfortunately, this is the reality of esports sometimes. A couple of disconnections, but...
Yeah, I mean...
Okay, and we are back. So we did have that disconnect on the other team. Our pause is about to be unpaused.
We love to see it. Well, love to see the unpause happening. Hate to see it disconnect. And they're back, actually.
Yeah. Oop, and
We
are
see the
going
same
to
teleport
teleport
coming out.
right into the point, and the other team
And they have the same idea.
A lot of damage coming into our Reinhardt.
Lot
He's gonna have to watch out.
damage.
Sim teleport or
Sim turrets.
Excuse me, are set up on the other team. We have very similar compositions. Ryan here taking out the last. Oh, taking it.
We do see Hoodnut going down to the Sojourn, unfortunately. Testing
Our
that
Sim
one
down.
last turret before going down. Sleep doesn't find anybody. Shadow goes down.
Does look
Swept
like
looking to stay alive here.
Swept backing up just because our team was down, but that's okay. We don't want to feed into the other team. Now we're going to regroup here, wait for Shadowstorm to come back in, and see what kind of play we might make. Let's see which way we go. We can go left, we can go right.
We can
through
go
the
middle.
hole, Go middle. Oh, we're going. Ooh. Oh, no.
And we only see Tut taking the teleporter
Tut
and
takes
does
over.
unfortunately go down.
That's okay,
They
though. We do,
do
get a
decide
pick
to
on
keep
Monarch.
going forward.
Ooh, the
Symmetra does get flicked, swept, does get the sleep. You'll love to see it.
Hoodnut being
Everybody
chased
being
here.
put onto critical.
Sim coming in.
Swept does
Trying to
take
make
out
it in.
Shmoney, but goes down himself. Tut is on point, contesting with the Baptiste
Testing,
and
yeah.
a Lucio.
Trying to see if he can get a pick here. And
Does go down.
unfortunately doesn't. Classic Junkrat play here, lobbing damage in.
Hey, it works, it works.
Yeah. It does.
Don't hate the players, hate the game. We do see that he's probably just trying to farm up that ult. He is at 95 after all.
See if he can get any damage off. We will
Does
see
get
if
that
we're gonna
tire. We-
Teleport in here or go to the right. Looks like
Teleport does get set up.
it looks like we are using a bait tactic here, and someone slept. Ooh, Junkrat ults,
Unfortunately,
but
Tire's
unfortunately-
right in front of them and goes down for it. Midas does take out Basher on the Baptiste. Follows up with the Orisa. Does have that nano is
lot of
being
damage.
kept
Ooh,
alive.
and Swept just takes
And
too
Swept
much
does
damage.
get taken down in the back.
We have Lucio in the point, trying to mitigate some of these turrets here. Ryan here taking a lot of damage.
We see that boop coming out.
Shadowstorm here healing up. We're able to take that point. Oof, my heart was given a beat there for a
A
second.
little close there for a second.
Now we are going to set up here. Sim is going to set up her own turrets, do some damage once the other team comes in.
We see Shadows looking behind just in case anybody's going that bridge side, trying to see if he can probably get a boop, just
Yep.
send them right off the map.
Now Nichols does also have a Sim still, so our team will have to watch out to see if they use their teleporter to get into the point like we did before.
We hear that Terror Surge coming out.
Oh, teleporter on the other end.
We hear that overclock as well. They
So
set
coming
up
in,
their
see if we
wall,
can get a boop. Oh, darn.
and the Lucio beat comes out. Shatter
big
goes
shatter.
down. Unfortunately, only gets the Emor field.
Ooh, big
Lucio
pop
goes
that
down.
ult. Question?
And it is unfortunately just swept alive.
Poor Swep's in there. Now we are switching.
Shadow does get
Let's see if we
taken
switch
down.
Characters. Genji
But now
coming in
switch to
on
Genji,
Hoodnut.
looking
See if
for
we
that
can
touch.
Get in there.
We do get into that overtime. Just get that climb over the wall to stall for a little bit. We hear that wall coming out. Midas doing his best to stay alive here. Unfortunately, it's
a
just
little
too
too
much
much.
damage coming in. Shadow takes out Basher and is taken out by the Orisa.
Yeah, just like that, we're in overtime. It will look like Nichols Nichols will take this round. So in our first match, they will get the point. Good job, Nichols. Good play. Now we're going to be going on to the next map. And let's see who's good at play of the game. Hoodnut.
We do see Hoodnut as the Junkrat getting play there.
Love to see Keene State play of the game.
And there's that 40 damage melee. I mean, it's just,
There it is.
it just does damage.
Yeah, that was quite the little pick there. Oh, and a third. Dang.
You love to see it.
Now that was a pretty close game between our schools, so I'm really, really excited to see the next game and see
Absolutely
what map we go
thrilled.
into. We are going to switch to a Be Right Back screen just in between rounds. Welcome back. So we are going to head into our next game. We are doing a hybrid map, King's Row. Now, for our viewers at home, this is a hybrid map, and it starts with assault on a point. So we're going to have one team attacking, one team defending. We're not sure which is doing which yet. And then if and when that point is taken by the attacking team to start, it will transition into an escort map where they have to escort a payload throughout the entire map to the end objective, and it's all a timed situation. So in a second we'll learn if Keene State College is defending or attacking.
Yeah. Now, you might have noticed this, you might have not. We are on red team now instead of blue.
Yeah, so you'll see us on the right, which makes sense for Keene State College. We're red. We're the
Yeah,
Owls.
yeah, it makes sense.
Initiating match.
All right.
Going into our heroes' perspectives here, we have...
We are on attack.
We are on attack. That's nice.
Hey.
I always want to attack this point.
I mean, I'm DPS. I love defending this point.
Stay sharp. It's hard to keep you alive when you're
Little
stuck.
emote from Hoodnon Junkrat.
Love to see it.
Don't be afraid to ask.
Now we are seeing Midas on tank as Zarya. We are seeing Hoodnut and Tut on DPS as Junkrat and Soldier respectively, and Swept and Shadow are staying on support as Brig and Ana.
5, 4, 3,
Perfect. So we're gonna go. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong team. So in the other team, it looks like we have a Sigma, which we have not seen tonight.
We are taking a lot of ground here initially. We do see that they are holding some height though as well. Hoodnut noticed that as well and immediately launches towards their Sojourn and their Mercy, trying to pick either one off or even both.
Off in there.
Does get dropped down to 43. Does have to back up and stay alive here. He's taking poke shots at the Sigma and the Sojourn.
Trying to keep them at bay over there a little bit.
While keeping himself alive.
Ooh, 49 health on Hoodnut.
He does get taken down, unfortunately. And we do get pushed back towards spawn.
Let's switch back to our tank's perspective here, Midas. They're trying to figure out which way they want to attack this point. There's a couple of different routes you can take on this map.
I mean, either way, you gotta go through this choke.
For sure.
And it is most definitely a choke.
Yeah.
It is absolutely so oppressive if you are on defense and they just have good angles, good heroes, good healers.
No, this
It
is
doesn't
one of
matter.
the hardest choke points, I'd say, in the game. Switching perspectives now. Soldier over here.
Hoodnut
trying
and
to-
Swept do get taken down. Tut
got-
looking to take one himself.
Ooh.
Unfortunately does not. And is just Shadow alive. Trying to keep it that way. Backing up
Backing
towards
up,
spawn.
Getting bullied a little bit here by our Knight, the tech on the other team, but looks like Shadowstorm's able to back up.
Does send out of sleep, but it does get absorbed, unfortunately.
I'm under attack. Don't fret. I see you.
We see Tut getting taken down to critical there.
Steady.
Midas
A
gets
little
taken
too much
down.
damage from
Gravitic
our
Flux coming out. Blizzard going out as well.
Hoodnut able to escape, hiding back here, seeing what we can do. Don't know if they know if he's there yet.
If I'm still standing, I'm still fighting.
Special delivery. Come over here if you want healing.
Now this choke.
They are
damage-
moving up. We do see a Zarya bubble coming out. Shadow gets taken down, unfortunately. That is one of our supports.
Yeah, that damage right there from the enemy Sojourn. She can put out these
Swept
opportunities
does
for
get
live
rocked
damage. Oop,
and stunned, trying to stay alive here, using that barrier,
and that
keeping
health
himself
pack.
alive. We do see that we do have Nana, we do have Visor.
And we did have a character switch, so our Zarya Midas switched over to Sigma itself. So it's Sigma versus Sigma
It
now.
is a Sigma Ditto.
This ends now.
We hear
And
that
ult
overclock
popping
coming
out.
out. Shadow goes down, Rally goes out, Tut goes down.
A lot of Tut sweeps. Unfortunately, there's a lot of damage going
Windows
out.
going out
Just a
as
lot of
well.
ultimates.
Just so much damage
That's
coming out
okay.
from the enemies. Unfortunately, it's too much for Keene State.
We still do have a few pushes in, though, that we can take.
We do see Swept switching to the Life Weaver. We see Hoodnet switching to Genji and Midas switching to Winston here. Rock goes out, trying to stay alive here.
Midas
Valkyrie
down low.
going out now from the enemies. Nano went out onto Midas.
See what he's able
He's
to
looking
do
for a
with it.
dive here to get some damage in. Emor Field
Lot of
goes down,
damage.
unfortunately, and he needs the bubble to keep himself alive. Gravitic Flux coming out on the
enemy
enemy.
Sigma ult coming out.
He does get to point, but needs to stay alive here.
He's backing up for a second. We have that regen.
And unfortunately gets taken out, and
Unable
that
to
is
touch
round
point.
1 complete.
So now the roles are going to be reversed, and Keene State College will be defending, and Nichols will be attacking. So we'll see if we're able to hold this map.
Yeah. And we do see a team switch up. We do see Midas on the Ramatra now, and Tut on the Ashe, and we do see Shadow on the Zen. Zen got, I mean, the thing about Zen, I don't know if you agree with this or not. You're our resident support player. you're our resident support player here. Zen is kind of a DPS right now with that health increase and that melee increase. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think, you know, we could be seeing... Zen has always been known for doing a good amount of damage. With those, you know, orbs, he could be making a bigger impact. I wasn't sure if his projectiles were impacted, but were those also increased in this patch?
I believe they were increased in size.
I believe with that projectile increase, that could make him also like a threat for damage.
Yeah. We do see the enemy having a Doomfist and a Bastion. That can deal a lot of damage here, a lot of unwanted damage.
Yeah, that orb put on Midas here. A lot
Trying to
of damage
keep him
coming
alive.
in from the enemy team. Yeah, that Bastion can just put a lot of damage into Reelers. And it looks like Tut's getting
We do see Ashe
attacked
getting
over
pushed
here.
by the Doomfist. Does manage to stay alive and get the dynamite off on him. And he does get taken out.
Swept
Midas
switching
being
to
kept
Swept.
alive here by Swept.
Setting up some healing for our Ashe. Trying to keep our team up over
Unfortunately,
here.
just not able to get shots in with... Oh, not unfortunately, strafing in front of every single heal here.
Oh no.
Widow is on top of Swept. Trying to take him out here.
Yeah, Swep's here doing a lot of healing, which we love to see.
Absolutely
Landing
love
those
it.
shots. Switch back to Ashe, who is coming back to point.
Same with Hoodnut.
And we ooh, and a pick from
And we
Midas.
do see the Baptiste going down. That is absolutely critical here with the Immortality field. Just being able to keep his teammates alive is massive that that pick gets taken first.
Now it's a good sign that we're able to hold this map. We do have another 2.5 minutes, but we have some ultimates building, and I'm curious to see what plays we move. And that, ooh, that Bastion
And
getting
I
low
don't
in
know
the
if you've
back.
noticed this, but Knight did switch off of the Doomfist and onto the Sigma. We do see the Emor field coming out, keeping him alive.
Yeah. Oh, there is the Zen ult on our team.
Love to see it. Just so much healing per second from that.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite make you immortal like the Bat field, but it's pretty darn close.
Yeah, as close as you'll get. Ashe taking in a better position here, more altitude. Oh, and we have the enemy
Bastion
Bastion
ult
ult coming
coming
in.
out.
Our team will have to watch their footing. Oh no. Oh,
It
no.
does get taken out, unfortunately.
Here we have Sweps keeping our team alive, backing up a little bit, taking advantage of that sniper ability.
There's a
enemy
Lucio in the back, unfortunately. Midas does have his ult out, does get nanoed as well, takes out the Bastion. Knight goes down as well from 5s.
Midas still alive here, trying to hold this choke. Although that Lucio's back there picking on Sweps. Ooh, and Sweps goes down.
They need to take care of this Lucio here.
Yeah, Lucio can be quite the pain if working in those back lines.
Yeah, that shield goes down. Tyre going out as well. Does get taken out, unfortunately, followed by Huna himself.
But we do have our team players coming back to the map. We'll see if we're able to hold this. It's very close.
4 HP in the Dream, and unfortunately, it's not quite enough.
A good hold from Keene State College.
Very good
here.
hold.
Yeah, we almost had them there.
But unfortunately, Nichols College does take it,
do
as
have-
well as the play of the game on the Sojourn.
Let's take a look at this play of the game. Sojourn can be quite the deadly character. You know, the player can aim.
Yeah, I mean, and with that projectile size being decreased as well.
Yeah, good play of the game there from Nichols.
Indeed.
We're
And we are back, and our next map is New Junk City. Now, this game mode is Flashpoint. It works similarly to Control. Everything just moves a lot faster. There's a lot more points. There's 5 total. You need to capture 3 to win. That's, I mean, it's high-octane gameplay. Everything takes up faster in terms of capturing. It's randomized where the next one is. There is no between round debriefing. You just keep going. Keep going till it's done, and that's it. Like, you have no time to breathe.
Now let's see what comp we're working with our Keene State Owls. So it looks like we have Midas on Ramatra, Hoodnut on, excuse me. There we go. Hoodnut on Hanzo, who we have not seen tonight. We have Tut on Soldier, and then Sweps on Life Weaver, who we've not seen tonight as well, and Shadow Storm on the classic Ana. I think these switch-ups are going to be good. We are looking at a lot of different fights than we may have been seeing in the previous map. Yeah, let's get into it and see what we're doing. So eyes on Shadow Storm
sleep does go out, doesn't get anybody, unfortunately.
Switching over to Ramatra on Midas view, blocking some damage for his team.
Just looking to take up all those bullets, distract the entire enemy team.
Eat up as much as he can. Ooh, and that was almost a down from the character. And we have Midas looking out some damage.
Like good heals out from Swept.
Switching over Hanzo, see what Hoodnut is doing out here. Getting followed
almost
by
gets a
that
juke,
Junker
unfortunately, not quite enough.
Tut trying to make it out of here, get some recovery.
And we see that bleed just doing so much.
Damage.
Now that did actually get buffed. I believe it went from 70 total damage to 90, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Which, that's insane. I mean, it's still cleansed with the single use of Suzu, but like,
yeah. With players
if
with
you don't
more,
have a Kiri.
players with more health means we're gonna have to get more damage out, right?
Oh, most definitely.
So we're going through the same doorway, see what kind of push we can make. We were getting a lot of damage out, and it does look like Junker Queen on the other team.
Junker Queen does go down to Swept.
Good job, Sweps.
Swept trying to keep everybody alive. He is on point.
Oh,
Tut does go down. Genji
Sweps
is
getting
on him.
attacked by that Genji.
Barely making it out, and he doesn't make it out.
Switch that perspective back to Midas, who is still on point, dishing out some damage, but he does go down.
And we do see Hoodnut coming out with that switch to the good classic Genji. We know it, we love it.
We were
absolutely flawless with it.
We were able to get a couple ticks, but it does look like we are going to see if we can make it first to the next flashpoint instead of trying to retake that point. So we are heading that way now. See which team gets there first, because that could make a decision. It looks like it is us. Right?
Now, I do want to talk about the ult economy real quick. We do know that with that switch, you don't keep however much ult charge you had before. It does drop down to 15%. Hoodnut is at almost 30% here. Midas is at 85. Tut is almost at ult. We do have Tree. We almost have Nano at 85%. But they almost have that Rampage.
Ooh,
they do have that overclock. Anti absolutely massive there. Purpling. They almost have that Blade. They almost have that beat. Almost have that Rampage.
And their Junker Queen is almost down. Knight
is
is
a little
able to
overextended.
narrowly get away. Ooh, she's hanging out right there.
Just slightly out of reach.
Switching over to, oops, excuse me, going to Tut here. Trying
Could
to get
see
a
a
poke
visor
angle
come out
here.
here. Kitsune comes out.
Enemy Kitsune.
Line, and just not able to do anything with that.
Hoodnut coming in from behind, seeing if he's able to grab any damage. Maybe. Ooh, and
Rampage goes out.
Knight
And
does have Rampage.
And that's 3 ults on the enemy team that went out there.
That seemed like a lot from the enemy team for that.
It was a lot, but I mean, it holds a point, and honestly, that's really all that matters right now. We do see Swept does opt to switch to the break from the Life Weaver.
Team looks like they might be taking a roundabout way to get onto point, going from the front now.
Tut being brought down to 80 there does need to be kept alive, especially as one of the DPS. Annihilate going out now on Midas.
Annihilate. Now
He
this
gets
is an,
Nano to keep himself even healthier, deal out even more damage.
now this is an ultimate that can be really dangerous, especially on these sort of controlled points, dishing out a lot of damage.
Queen is incredibly weak here, but unfortunately just
unable to
stays
go
alive.
If I'm still
Switching it overtime too, but that's okay. We have a long flashpoint map ahead of us, so we are going to head to the third flashpoint that has just been released.
Attack the point.
Now I'm really interested to see what's going to happen here. We do have some ult charge. Both teams aren't really that close to any ult, so that's really the closest here at 86%.
Oh, and Tut does go down. From
Tut goes
Lucio.
down. Midas is staying alive, doing a lot of damage.
We're getting into a bit of a brawl here.
Queen
before
gets
we even
taken
get
down.
on point.
Shao gets taken down as well.
Ooh, and a nice pick from our Midas here.
But that is both supports down. We do see Hoodnut with that Dragon Blade coming out. Does take out their Sojourn.
Now we'll have to see if we're able to get on point and start capping that, which
Oh,
looks like
we
we
easily
are.
do.
Good little push here from Keene State College, grabbing that point and knocking out the other team.
No, you don't like seeing the supports go down, especially before capture point is even unlocked. But I think we played that really well. We played our lives really well, played our poke damage.
And luckily in this opportunity, I think the healers have enough time to get back. Like, if we were to lose our healers, that was the best time.
Yes.
We do have a rally going
Rally
out from
going out
Sweps
now.
here. Big damage, big healing coming out from our support.
We do see a Klein is going out.
Ooh, and they
Lucio
are able
is
to get
one,
Lucio.
gets taken out. Queen is looking very killable, very punishable
Swept-
right now.
ooh.
And gets absolutely just whipped
Knocked
back.
out by Sweps. Good job.
Good hold.
Now, looking at the ultimate game again, it does look like Nichols has a few ults built up. We are close to 3, which we'll probably get early in this next fight. So we're looking about equal, maybe a little behind in that, but I'm not too worried.
Yeah.
I would say we
Well,
probably
some
have the
poke damage coming out from
advantage
Tut right now.
Yeah. Oh,
Kitsune
Kiriko
does
ults.
come out on the enemies. Annihilation follows.
Oh,
He needs to try and stay
Sweps
alive
is
here,
too
and
much
unfortunately
damage
goes
for
down.
him.
Dragon Blade comes out as well on the enemy team. Putting out with the deep vice, just keeping himself alive there, and unfortunately goes
But
down.
we were able to get that point to 99%, so if we're able to take it back, then that point will be ours.
Now we do have that visor. We do now have the Nano. We are close to a Blade, but they have overclocked. They have that Rampage. They're very close to beat. It's going to be a tough fight right here. We hear that Rampage going
There's
out.
Rampage, yeah, it's a lot of damage for Midas, and he does go down.
Beat goes down as well.
See if Hoodnut's able to hold, and he is down as well.
He is not, and that's unfortunately a team kill.
But that's okay. We still have time to get in there at least one more time and try to retake that point. In that last team, they used a few ults, so every ultimate we can squeeze out of them gives us the advantage. So this next
Most
time we are
definitely.
going to have a couple more ultimates on them. Looks like they are playing away from the point to try and keep us from... Ooh, revenge
We do see
here
Sojourn dead.
from
They are
Midas.
walking forward. Shadow and Tut are down, unfortunately.
And our team is straight heading towards the point, wanting to spend as much time there to retake it. So now we're into overtime.
We see the axe coming out. Doesn't get anybody.
Here, Hoodnut trying to get something with Dragon Blade. Was able to get the other Genji. Ooh, too much
And
damage.
unfortunately dies to the Queen Axe. Nano goes out onto Tut. He's trying to stay alive here.
Trying to hold that point. They are in overtime. And
And that
Nichols
is
was able to take that back.
unfortunately Nichols takes the game and takes the day. You hate to see it.
Let's see
But we
this
played
play the
incredibly
game,
well
see
there.
Who we got. And
Another Sojourn play.
another Sojourn from the same Nyan Ledkip. Let's see what this play was. Clean play of the game there, getting a
Very
couple
clean
people.
shots.
We're gonna switch over to a Be Right Back team
Screen.
and see if we can do any interviews.
All right, and we're back. We are unfortunately not going to be doing any interviews tonight. Our next stream is going to be for the Smash team. That's Thursday night. At what time? I think it's 7 o'clock.
I think it's 7 o'clock,
I think
too.
it's 7. I will be back next week. Unfortunately, not going to be here.
I
No
will
Morgan.
not be here, but I will be back the week after, so have fun, Trent. Cast
You're
by
stuck
yourself.
with me. Sorry. I know. Everybody's here for Morgan and not me. I know. And that is against Wisconsin River Falls. That is next Tuesday, 8:15 p.m. EST.
Yeah, I won't be back, but our Overwatch team will be back.
I'll be back.
We're excited for the next game, and we'll be here for all of the next ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
all we
that's
have for
it.
you
Yeah.
today. So everyone have a good night. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you at our next game.